All right, these are the notes for section 4 of chapter 4 in the financial algebra textbook. Credit cards. Number 1 objective is to become familiar with the basic vocabulary of credit cards, and objective 2 is to compute an average daily balance. All right, so a credit card is a plastic card that entitles its holder to make purchases and pay for them later. The account holder of the credit card has signed an agreement to pay for any purchases made using the card. The use of credit cards probably increases impulse spending or impulse buying. Impulse buying is when a consumer purchases something to which they were suddenly attracted to and had no intention of buying. Consumers enjoy many advantages when using a credit card. One, there's no need to carry large sums of cash. Responsible use of a credit card helps a credit rating. Customers receive or have access to written records of all their purchases. Some cards have reward programs, such as frequent flyer miles. There are 2 types of credit card accounts. The most commonly used is revolving charge account. Revolving charge. This means that the entire bill does not have to be paid in full each month. There is a minimum monthly payment, and there is a finance charge the following month. Let's see, a finance charge the month following a month the bill is not paid in full. However, interest rates for not paying off your bill each month are relatively high. We're talking upper teens, 18%, 19%. Excuse me. Using credit cards is both a convenience and a responsibility. Convenience. There's a temptation to overspend. And the card can also be lost. The Truth in Lending Act, Truth in Lending, protects you if your card are lost or stolen. If this happens, notify the creditor who issued the card immediately. You may be liable for any purchases made by an unauthorized user of any cards that you lose. The maximum liability is $50. You are not responsible for any charges that occur after you notify your creditor. So if you lose your credit card but don't realize that you've lost it for, say, 2 or 3 days, and so you don't contact your credit company until 2 or 3 days after you've lost it. So in between that time, any purchases made, you're liable up to $50 on those purchases. But once you've told your credit card company that you've lost your card, you're not liable for any charges. If the credit card number, just the number, not the actual card itself, is stolen, you're not responsible for any of those purchases. It's up to the credit company to make sure that your credit card number is kept safe. Another type of plastic card is known as a debit card. A lot of us use that nowadays instead of checks. These are not credit cards because there's no credit extended. Or no creditor extending credit, sorry. If you open a debit account, you deposit money in your account, and the card acts like an electronic check. You are deducting money directly from your account every time you make a purchase using your card, your debit card. From your account every time you make a purchase. Another type of credit card that they talk about in the book, but I didn't write in here, was what's called a charge card, and those are, say, business. Well, they're only for certain businesses. Like, you can get a card that is a credit card for just, Home Depot, or you can get a charge card that's just for Best Buy. Those are basically credit cards, but you can only use them at certain places. All right, example 1. Frank lost his credit card in a local mall. He notified his creditor before the card was used. However, later in the day, someone found the card and charged $700 worth of hockey equipment on it. How much is Frank responsible for paying? Well, considering that this didn't happen until after Frank notified his credit card company, he is liable for none of it. So he doesn't have to pay anything. If that $700 had been charged prior to Frank notifying his credit card company, then he would have been liable to up to $50 of it. Example 2. Credit card companies issue a monthly statement. Therefore, APR, annual percentage rate, must be converted to a monthly percentage rate. If the APR is 21.6%, what is the monthly interest rate? So this is really as easy as it sounds. We're just going to take the annual percentage rate, divide by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. And that gives us 1.8%. So when it comes to calculating finance charges, this is the percentage we use to calculate your finance charge. You do not use the average, or you do not use the APR, you use the monthly rate. All right, so now let's define what the average daily balance is. So if you don't pay your credit card bill off each month, they're going to calculate what's called the average daily balance so that they can give you a finance charge. The average daily balance as the name says, is just an average. So it's the average owed per day during a billing cycle. On your bill, it'll tell you how many days are in your billing cycle. 30, 28, whatever it might be. And so depending on any purchases or payments that you make throughout the month, how much you owe on your credit card can go up or down. And so to figure out your finance charge, they're going to take what's called the average daily balance and use that to calculate your finance charge. All right, so let's do some examples where we actually calculate average daily balance. Excuse me. All right, so example 3, Rebecca did not pay last month's credit card bill in full. Below is a list of Rebecca's daily balances for her last billing cycle. For 7 days, she owed $456.11. For 3 days, she owed $1,177.60. For 6 days, she owed $990.08. For 9 days, she owed $2,115.15, and for 5 days, she owed $2,309.13. Find Rebecca's average daily balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to take each of our totals, and we're going to multiply it by the number of days that it was at that total. We'll add those all together and divide by the number of days in the billing cycle. So first, let's check how many days are in the billing cycle. All you got to do is add these all up. So let's see. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 plus 9 is 25. 25 plus 5 is 30. So in her billing cycle, there was 30 days. All right, so we're gonna do 7 times $456.11 for the 7 days she had that balance, plus 3 times $1,177.60 for the 3 days she had at that balance, plus 6 days at $990.08. plus 9 days at $2,115.15, plus 5 days at $2,309.13. And once you add those all together, we're going to divide it by the number of days in her billing cycle, which was 30. Alright, so let's figure out what that all adds up to. Excuse me. Alright, so we got 7 days at $456.11, plus 3 days at $1,177.60, plus 6 days at $990.08, plus 9 days at $2,115.15, plus 5 days at $2,309.13. And if you add those all together, you're going to get $43,248.05. That's what we divide by 30 to get our average daily balance. And so we end up with $1,441.60. And so that's what her average daily balance, if you want to put that as ADB for short, instead of writing out average daily balance each time, that's fine with me. And so her average daily balance, $1,441.60. And so when they calculate her finance charge, that's the total they'll use. All right, Number 4. Jake had these daily balances on his credit card for his last billing period. 2 days at $331.98, 11 days at $1,203.04, 4 days at $996.71, 13 days at $1,002.76. What is his daily average balance? All right, so first, let's figure out how many days in the billing cycle. All right, so 2 plus 11 is 13, plus 4 is 17, plus 13 is 30. So for our examples, it's been 30 each time. It won't always be 30. Sometimes it'll be 31, sometimes it'll be 28. It depends on the credit card company. So we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We got 2 days at $331.98, plus 11 days at $1,203.04, plus 4 days at $996.71, and 13 days at $1,002.76. So let's figure out what that is in our calculator. Put that up there so you can copy it down as needed. All right, so we got 2 at $331.98, plus 11 at $1,203.04, plus 4 at $996.71, and 13 at $1,002.76, and that comes out to $30,920.12. And then we have 30 days in the billing cycle. So we're going to divide that by 30 to get our average. And we get $1,030.67. All right, so Jake's average daily balance turned out to be $1,030.67. Example 5. Rebecca from example 3 pays a finance charge on her average daily balance of $1,441.60. Her APR is 18%. What is her finance charge for this billing cycle? Alright, so we're going to take her APR, which is 18%, and divide it by 12 months. So 18 divided by 12, divided by 12 is 1.5. So her monthly percentage rate is 1.5%. So we're going to take her average daily balance, which was $1,441.60. We're going to multiply it by 1.5 as a decimal. And remember, when you're changing your decimal or your percentage to a decimal, we're moving our decimal point 2 spaces to the right. So it's going to be 0.015 for our percentage. So if you multiply those together, that's going to give you her finance charge. So finance charge, we got $14.41.60 times 0.015, and we get $21.62, which is her finance charge. So the biggest thing to remember when doing these is changing that APR to a monthly percentage rate before multiplying. So make sure you do that. Last example, example 6. Jake from example 4 doesn't pay off his credit card in full the previous month, so he has to pay a finance charge. The APR is 18.6%. What is the finance charge? So let's start by figuring out what his monthly percentage rate is. So 18.6% divided by 12. And that is 1.55%. All right, which means as a decimal, if we move our decimal place 2 to the right, that's going to be 0.0155. And if you look back at example 4, we calculated his average daily balance is $1,030.67. So $1,030.67 times his monthly percentage rate. And that is going to give us our finance charge. So 1030.67 times 0.0155, and we get $15.98. We'll round that up since we got a 5 there. So $15.98 is his finance charge. So again, remember, divide the average or the annual percentage rate by 12 to get your average monthly rate.